Hello, everyone, and welcome to another RIPS Report. I'm Levi Freeman with Eastland County Today. We had the pleasure of being at Trinity Ranchland Real Estate in their Cisco office with their broker owner, Lenz. Thank you for being on the show.
Sure.
Realtor Stephen Ried, and their office manager and realtor, Gayelena, Rener. Thank you so much for taking the time today to be on RIPS Report. And we'll like to start off with how we normally start, with telling us a little bit about yourselves and kind of where you're from, what brought you to the area, and what your journey into real estate. We'll start with you, Karen.
Okay. So I got into real estate in 94. I'm going to show my age here. In Plano, Texas. And my kids were little, and my grandparents and my parents had a ranch out at Cottonwood. It's kind of between here and Cross Plains. And I decided that I wanted to raise my kids in a small town, so we all moved to outside of Cross Plains, and we raised our kids in Cross Plains. And I decided to get into ranch real estate back then. So that was my journey to being in this area. And I joined a real estate company in Cross Plains and Coleman. And then several years later, I got my broker's license, and in 2008, started Trinity Ranchland. So.
Wow. Yeah, I was a 94 baby.
Oh, goodness.
Man, as much experience as I am. Wow. And what about you, Stephen?
My background is a diesel technician or automotive mechanic, to set it straight. Grew up in Midland, Texas and West Texas. Worked for a company out there before I retired. In 2019, we had bought a lake house on Fort Phantom. We lived there about a year, and my wife and I, Tracy, we got bored, and we found this little ranch outside of Cross Plains where we moved into. I met a gentleman that's no longer with us. He retired, Mike Gray, and kind of befriended him, and he was a realtor, and he kind of showed me how, well, it wasn't easy, but the steps to take to get a real estate license. And I was bored and didn't have a job, didn't have nothing to do, so I got my real estate license. I wish I'd have done it 40 years ago. I love it. I love what I do. And no, you don't make your own hours, but you can work up some free time, so I love what I do.
Awesome.
I've lived in Cisco my entire life, born in Abilene, raised here. My maiden name's Rains. I'm sure a lot of people know that name. I worked for United Interjects for several years, out between Cisco and Eastland as the office manager, kind of getting ready to take over the office manager position. And then I quit there to stay home with my babies for a little while, and then went to work, moved away just for like maybe a year or two, and then moved back, went to work at Eastland Hospital in the health information department for about a couple of years. And then I saw an ad for Trinity and applied as an office manager and got the job. I've been here with Trinity for about 5 years, working on the 6th year. And last year I decided, after doing all of the paperwork and everything, putting stuff on, that I wanted to go ahead and get my license to go with it. And it's just clicked, and I've kind of hit the ground running, and I absolutely love it.
Well, thank you for your all your dedication, your service in the industry, and we're very lucky in this area to have people with so much expertise and obviously love what they do. And we have a question about the business. How long exactly has Trinity Ranchland Real Estate been open?
So I started the first office in Cross Plains in 2008. Okay. And then we opened the Cisco office, I believe, in 2000 and, I think it was 12. It might have been 14, but somewhere around there. Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah, so been around some time now.
Yeah.
How long has your Cisco been open? Your Tuscola, how long was that?
Well, we were in Abilene before Tuscola, and then we built the Tuscola office 4 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, still years of operation pretty much everywhere, and that's great.
Yeah.
And I know that trying to work around everyone's busy schedules and lives, it most likely means that you have to operate during unusual hours. Are there typical times a day that you book showings and take people out, and when is the best time for people to contact y'all?
excuse me, it's 24/7. Most of the time, the book of showing is at the client's schedule. When they want it, if you just got to work with your clients, what they want there.
Yeah.
They're number one. What they want, when they want it, that's how you got to do it.
Yeah, yeah. So I know, like you said, you don't get to pick your hours, but
No, sir.
You still get to have some free time as long as it works out.
You can to a certain extent, but if you try and schedule one, if the client says that'll work perfect for me, then that's great. But if the client says only time I have is Friday at 5:00, we'll be there.
Yeah.
Like Monday is Memorial Day. Most people have off.
Yeah.
And we usually don't.
Yes.
Because that's when everybody else can look. So we're showing properties.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's part of the deal of the trade, How would you describe the current real estate market in the area? Are we maybe currently in a buyer's market or a seller's market? What would you say?
I've had both
It depends.
Yeah.
here lately.
I think
Springtime, we're busy.
Yeah. Spring, it kind of depends on, well, of course it depends on the market, but I think, springtime brings out more buyers.
Okay.
And plus people getting ready to move, and just land is pretty also there that time of year.
Yeah.
But that being said, I would say right now it's leaning a little bit more towards a buyer's market just because of the interest rates.
Okay.
Right now, we're at the highest level we've been probably in about 10 years of things on the market. So that creates more of a buyer's market when there's more supply than demand.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's ringing true, based on what I've been seeing in the news and so forth. But it's also just beautiful land out here. And like you said, the skies have been amazing recently. And, there's been some storms and stuff, but there's been amazing skies with that as well. It's just very pretty.
Yeah.
Great to sell during that time. What would you say is your number one tip for sellers to make their home or ranch land more appealing to potential buyers?
Declutter.
Yeah.
We've had places that you go in to take pictures, get it ready for showing, and you got to kind of stage it, move piles of clothes, dirty towels, dishes in the sink, and I'm learning that. Got some help the other day. I took some bad pictures, and Karen went with me. We went back and retook the pictures, took some stuff out of the pictures that I had in there. I took a picture of one in a bathtub with a towel hanging over it. Just declutter, mow your property, make it look good.
Okay.
Yeah. And on land the same way. It's like a clean house shows better. A staged house shows better.
Okay.
Same with land. If it's, the roads are mowed and shredded and there's not a lot of junk piled around, it just shows better.
Yes.
You'll get more bang for your buck,
Okay.
On land, if you'll make it to where they can drive around it, because we've been on some properties before that, over there, you can't get to it to show them. They just have to guess what it looks like. So,
Right. So definitely taking advantage of spring cleaning, organizing. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, I was interested to see what you might say. Is there a memorable property, something that sticks out in your mind that you've sold, and what made that property that you sold stand out and why?
I guess one of my most memorable, so I find that most women that come with their husbands looking at land like views and water. So I sold a river property once. It was, beautiful, 300 acres on the Brazos River and had high mountain views. I mean, we had 400, 600 feet of elevation change. And it was really beautiful.
Pretty property.
Yes. That does sound very pretty.
Yeah.
I guess my most memorable is I worked with a gentleman that I showed property. When I first started, I showed him property on and off for a year and got to see some beautiful countryside right around. But this is not really anything to do with the property. But I asked him, I said, we looked at the house. Are you ready now to go look at the property and the ranger? He said, yeah, but I got one problem. He said, it's against my religion to ride in a Ranger without a cold beer. Knock yourself out, but you can see a lot of pretty country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have anything really memorable, but I enjoy, like, when I was learning, Karen was taking me out. But if anybody's ever rode in a buggy with Karen, it is an absolute blast. You might need a helmet, but getting to see other people's places and stuff, and just the wildlife and all that, it's a lot better than working in the office.
Hey, it's better than Six Flags.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an absolute blast.
It's free. It's a lot cheaper.
You're right.
Yeah. How do you handle any difficult negotiations, maybe bidding wars that take place, and/or difficult client situations? Any advice?
As professional as possible.
Smile and be professional.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be difficult clients, but they're the client. You know, and if they want it this way, then that's, you know, within being legal, you know, ethical, you know.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's what they want. If they, well, no, I don't want my house showed before 8 o'clock or after 6 o'clock. Okay. Whatever they wish, that's what they get.
Patience and prayer.
Yeah.
Lots of prayer.
Lots of prayer.
Yeah.
Lots.
Yeah. Yeah. Prayer helps with a lot of things.
Yes.
Even negotiations in realty, for sure. Do you have any properties that are currently listed that you would say are must-sees right now?
So Gayelena and I just listed 93 acres in Callahan County, and it's down a private road. It's actually at the end of a private road. So it's like their own little sanctuary down there, and it has a barn-dominium on it. It has a cabin on it. But they're also willing to break it up in 3 different tracts, or kind of how a buyer wants it. So if they only want 2 acres in the barn-do, that's a possibility. If they only want 49 acres in the cabin, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
There's 41.7 acres that's just hunting land with 3 tanks on it.
Wow.
So, you know, but it's this little private, little sanctuary at the end of a private road. You don't hear any traffic. It's really a special place.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a, choose your own adventure,
Yeah. Do you have something, Stephen?
I would have to say that I've got 169 acres listed towards Coleman off of 206 that is just beautiful. Beautiful land. Lots of trees and valleys, good hunting. It would break up. They sell it in 169, 100 acres, or 69. Break it up 3 different ways, and it's very off the beaten path. Put it like that. There's no major highway going by. There's access to a dirt road out there, and it's just beautiful land. Very beautiful.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that. Anything for you?
I have one here, 1609 Beach Street. It's a house here in Cisco. It's been completely remodeled inside and out. They've done a lot of work to the place. And we just went and droned it yesterday. It could either come with 1.6 acres, but up to 10.4 acres. They're open to more land.
And that's rare because it's right in
within
town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, being in town like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really nice.
Man, sounds like you'll have a lot of great options and flexibility on your hands, which
We
is
have a lot of properties listed right now. And anywhere you want to go, we've got something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We predominantly cover 25 counties in the surrounding areas. So we travel a lot
Yes.
in our vehicles a lot. So
Yes.
we do have offices, but our main office is probably our trucks.
Yeah, I noticed
Yeah.
the 3 outside when we pulled up. They're looking sporty out there. That's great. Any open houses? Do y'all do that often, or how does that work for y'all?
I've nearly 3 years. I've never been an open house and haven't done one. I don't know if I could. I don't know how, but mostly property and land.
Yeah.
Occasionally we'll do one in town like Eastland or Cisco.
Yeah.
But we have yet to have a sale off of an open house.
I
So,
see.
it seems to be more people wanting to see what it looks like.
Yeah, you just kind of get some a lot of window shopping, but
Yeah.
literally. But yeah, and anything else each of you would like our audience at home to know about, either you or the business?
You're not going to get any better client attention than you will with Trinity Ranchland.
Yeah.
We bend over backwards to make our clients happy, whatever they want, and that's any agent. Excuse me, any agent with Trinity Ranchland has that attitude that we'll do whatever it takes to make our clients happy.
Yeah.
We're very team oriented. So like if one of us, say he has a buyer looking for property and he can't show, he'll call one of us and somebody makes it work. Somebody covers for the other.
A couple of weeks ago, I had one that I got to say it right now. I couldn't get loose. I called Gayelena, but everybody works together as far as the support, the level of care that everybody gives everybody else is just amazing with Trinity.
Awesome.
I gotta say, this team is here to serve the community, and we love making people's dreams come true in real estate. And, it shows through all their hard work and effort that they do. They're all really good people.
Yes.
You can't go wrong with any of the agents in Trinity.
Yeah. Talking about agents working together, had one probably 2 months ago. Josh had the seller side, and we needed some documents. And the lady had a little safe at her house. She couldn't get into it. Josh said, "Steve, can you go over there and get into it?" I went over and took a hammer to this lady's safe to get the documents out.
With permission.
Oh yeah, she was sitting there beside me. Said, "We got to get in there. The deed and survey and everything's in there." So all right, I took a hammer to it, got it open. So what the customer wants, the customer gets.
Right. When it comes to Steve, it's like, as long as it's within the law, they'll make it happen. That's what you want out of your agent. Well, thank y'all very much for taking that time and answering some of those business related questions. And we'll have a couple last ones at the end. But since this is the RIP report, I'd be remiss if we didn't have a few fun questions inspired by Old Rip, the legendary horn toad, Eastland. Who or what would you like to rip a new one? Anyone want to go first on that one?
No names.
I do have. He's a good guy, wonderful person, high maintenance. I don't know if I've ever made him happy. I've satisfied him, but I don't know if I've ever made him happy.
I think you have. You made it to the closing table a few times. So
we sold and helped him buy a lot of property, and he left us once for another agent, but he came back.
Yeah. Maybe he wasn't willing to.
So not so much a rip as a shout out, I guess.
Yeah, that works. They might know who you're talking about. Gayelena, anything for you?
No one specifically, just maybe there's a few agents out there that are just not great at communicating. Like when you go under contract, different stuff, you're working with them, and they just, when you can't get a response or can't get somebody to answer the phone,
it's frustrating.
Better communication. And there's a few agents out there that are like that just it's not as professional. So maybe out to those agents.
Yeah.
Makes your job kind of harder.
Yeah. Answer the phone. Answer the email.
Yeah.
Anything for you? Doesn't have to be a person.
I'll just rip into an good old Hershey bar.
Yeah. Those work as well. Love a good s'more from time to time.
Right.
And could you tell us a little bit about a rip-roaring good time you've had while selling real estate?
I already named mine. Mine was Karen.
Yeah. You're riding around with Karen.
I guess probably riding around drinking beer with a client.
He's not allowed to write a contract, though, if that ever.
I had one beer, so. But, that was the most memorable, crazy one. This guy was a nut.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Crossing a roaring river in the mule. and
Wow.
hoping we don't float away, But it's been
Getting
fun.
stuck in a tank and having
There you
to
go.
winch out.
Yeah, that was fun.
You're tilted like where you can just
Yeah.
touch the water.
Everybody had to crawl out that end because the tank was right here at the
for
door.
Karen.
Wow. Wow.
The client said, "Oh, you can make it."
Yeah. No, we sunk.
Adventures.
Yeah.
This had to be not too long ago.
It was
Yeah.
right before Christmas. Yeah.
Wow. Exciting times. Exciting things.
It's never dull.
Not
That's
very
for sure.
Yeah. And how can people at home best get a hold of each of you to maybe make their realty dreams come true?
So our website has all the agents' information. It's trinityranchland.com.
Okay.
And you can click on an agent, has their email, their phone number, everything. The Cisco office number here is 254-442-4181.
Okay.
Cross Plains is 254-725-4181.
Yeah.
Cross Plains office. I don't know the Tuscola right off the top of my head.
It's on the website.
On the website.
Yeah.
There you are. Well, we want to thank you all for being on the show again and taking the time out of your busy time.
Hey, we
Busy
appreciate
day.
you
Yeah,
for
thank
sure.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
No, it's a privilege and great to have great reps and a great business in Eastland County and the surrounding area. And thank you for having us at Trinity Ranchland Real Estate here in Cisco and representing your offices in Cross Plains, Tuscola, and I know you all have at least 18 realtors in the region willing to take care of you all at home. And we also like to thank you for supporting Eastland County Today and being a press club member, and it means a lot to us, and for supporting journalism in the area.
Yes, we appreciate all y'all do.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You're welcome. And those of you at home, if you've enjoyed this interview, please like and subscribe and share with your friends and leave us a comment below. And if you want more news, the best way to do that is to subscribe to Eastland County Today using the link in the description below for all of our news and stories. You get more coverage that way. And once again, this is Levi Freeman signing off with Rips Report from Eastland County Today. Until next time, stay ripped.